What's going on, all you Star Wars maniacs out there? Fans of the glowy sticks, that Phat Samurai Guy is here with Lady Phatblood, and welcome to another episode of the Verbal Nectar Podcast. That's right, the ridiculous name brought to you by ridiculous people. That's right, it's fun. Happy New Year. Yes, brand new year, 2020. We are celebrating. I am drinking something. Maybe Pabst, I don't know what it is. It's a yellow beer can. It's got a big orange X on it. And it says Lager, whatever the fuck. Jushin Thunder Liger, great wrestler. He's retiring this year. Now, but today isn't about wrestling. Today's about Star Wars. And we have a special guest with us today on the podcast. We have the Sexy Sumo, who is drinking, non-sponsored,
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. So, grab something to eat, get something to drink with us. We're popping the can here. Skål, skål. All you Vikings fans, that's right.
Tasty.
And Lady Phatblood is drinking tea. That's right. She's representing the being healthy amongst us three.
Healthy Zen.
Oh, yeah.
Healthy Zen. So, we're here to talk about Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, our favorite Star Wars film.
Greatest movie ever
The
made.
best line in there, my favorite, was, I don't like sand. And I think that, forget, are you talking to me, taxi driver? Forget all the classic lines. When you think classic movie lines, you think of, I don't like sand.
No, but what about that love story?
Oh, it's the greatest love story of all time.
That chemistry alone. Was
Oh,
like,
yeah. Electric.
Jesus.
Yeah. On a serious note, we're here to talk about one of the best surprises of the year 2019. We had our fingers crossed. We didn't really know what we were going to get. But we were excited with the possibilities of this, seeing more of the Star Wars universe, seeing more of this world unveiled, for us fans of the glowy sticks. And we were hoping it was going to be cool. And wow, we were really impressed with The Mandalorian.
Even though it had no glowy sticks in it.
Yeah, no glowy sticks needed, which is proof that, Star Wars is more. Star Wars done right, when you have great memorable characters, a great storyline, and good action sequences, and something that just makes you want to watch the next episode. It just keeps you like, ugh, now I got to wait another week. They're doing something right in terms of storytelling. And, we were very pleasantly surprised. I did not think I was going to like the show as much as I did. Now, as all shows, some of the greatest shows of all time out there, they all have their flaws. We love Breaking Bad.
We do.
One of the greatest shows ever made.
It was great.
It's not perfect, right?
Nope.
We love Sons of Anarchy,
Yes.
right? Another great show. Not perfect. Great Game of Thrones. Fuck that show.
Yeah,
I
never
don't
watched
even
it.
want to talk about it.
I haven't started.
Season 8 can go fuck itself. It can go fuck. This will not end. The Game of Thrones Season 8 will not end. The Season 8 hate will not end. And while I was saying that whole line just now, I had a middle finger up. Sexy Sumo is a witness.
Yep.
I was flipping off invisible Game of Thrones over here.
Flipping it off.
Yeah, so fuck that shit. So anyway.
I just want to add to that really quick that I went into the garage to put some stuff into a crate, and I found the crate with all of the Game of Thrones Blu-rays, the pops that you once displayed so proudly, the soundtracks in the crate that was just discarded.
I think it's time for a bonfire.
You didn't poop on them, did you?
Yeah, so anyway, fuck that shit. So fuck that shit. And, hopefully The Mandalorian doesn't go the way of Game of Thrones. But, I'll take what we got here. And this first season was very well done. I was hooked after the first episode. Chapter 1, The Mandalorian. And the basic plot synopsis for that was Mandalorian bounty hunter tracks a target for a well-paying, mysterious client. And Pedro did a good job. The actor from Game of Thrones! Okay?
Yes.
Pascali?
Pascal, yeah.
Pascali. I don't know, you might have to have your IMDb phone ready to check facts.
I don't think there's an E at the end.
It's
I think
just
it's
Pascal.
Pascal.
It's
Sure.
just Pascal.
Whatever. I'm still mad about Game of Thrones. Anyway, he was one of the better parts of that show. Anyway,
He got out just in time.
I was happy that we pulled the Judge Dredd here, and pretty much you didn't see him until you get a little peek at his face, towards the end of the show. But I like that you saw it for a little bit, and then the helmet went back on. But they stayed true to the Mandalorian, mythos that they don't really show. They're not known for showing their faces.
Whiskey.
Making them mysterious.
Whiskey popped up when I saw him when I took the helmet off.
Yeah, whiskey. Oh, no. Yeah. Sexy Sumo's a fan of the second Kingsman movie.
Hey, I said it's not that terrible.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, again, like Game of Thrones,
Yeah.
he was probably one of the best parts of the second Kingsman.
I always wanted to buy that blue jumpsuit he had on.
He was fun in that horrible movie. Anyway, back to the Mandalorian. We got Carl Weathers in here. We love us some Creed.
Yeah.
That's right, Action Jackson representing. And I didn't know until you pointed it out later, babe, that Cully, is it Cully?
On the
character right there? I Have Spoken.
Oh yeah.
Was played by
Isn't it Quill?
Quill.
Isn't it Quill?
Yeah, Quill.
That's what I say. Get your facts checked. So I'm gonna butcher everything, guys. Sorry. Quill. I have spoken. Was played by Nick Nolte. Yeah. So Nick Nolte was great.
The Hulk's father.
The Hulk's father. All you MCU, all you MCU fanboys are going. The Hulk's father. Yeah, there was a movie called Hulk.
Yeah.
Came out early 2000s, directed by Ang Lee. That's fucked up another movie called Gemini Man, which I haven't seen. Anyway, I don't know if I will see that one. Did you see it?
It's bad enough watching one Will Smith. Now you got to watch two Will Smiths. I'm good.
So they're both getting jiggies with it.
Yep. That's it.
Did you see that movie?
It's the Fresh Prince
Gemini
versus
Man?
Bad Boys. No,
No?
I didn't watch it.
The kids, the family, nobody else. Your brother?
No, nobody really cared.
Copy
I'll watch
that.
it for free.
Yeah, there you go. For bad films, we support illegal... No, I'm just kidding. Zip the lips. But
I was just to say that Phat Samurai Guy Incorporated does not endorse pirating illegally.
yes.
Any kind of copyrighted material.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do not endorse any kind of illegal activity when it comes to media.
But the look of the show, what do you think of it? The cinematography?
I'm loving the look, man. I like the dark feel.
Yes.
It reminds me a lot of Rogue One.
Yes.
Which is just a really good feeling when you watch it.
And we will defend. I know everybody hates Disney Star Wars, except, Sexy Sumo.
Yeah.
But we will defend. Lady Phatblood and I, and Sexy Sumo, will defend Rogue One.
Yes.
Okay? We will defend that movie.
I will admit to Rogue One's flaws.
It's not perfect, but...
I admit it had a very, very messy first half.
Mm-hmm.
But once you kind of get going, and I know a lot of people are like, well, that's enough for me to hate it. Fair enough. I completely understand that. But I found enough in it to be able to keep going with it. And I enjoyed the characters enough. Not all of the characters, because some of them fell flat for me. Yeah. But enough of them got me. And the story, it's just my kind of story.
Yes.
So, and if it's not your kind of story, again, fair enough. Some people don't like Dunkirk. There's just movies out there. I get it.
Right.
But that type of film is just my kind of story. But, it's got a bad rep. But the look of this, it was also reminding me a lot of Westerns.
Yes.
Which I thought
that was on purpose.
Was a very interesting choice for a Star Wars sci-fi universe, which I think, again, if you're going to take risks in a franchise that's been established so far as kind of doing the same thing over and over,
right.
For better or for worse, you got a formula, you want to stick to it. I've always wanted to see Star Wars go in a different direction because we've had 3 trilogies now.
Right.
We've had 2 trilogies that, the first trilogy after the original trilogy deliberately tried to mirror the first trilogy. George Lucas had a strategy. He deliberately went in wanting it to mirror the original trilogy because in his own words, it's like poetry. You kind of want the stanzas there. You kind of want things to go in a certain order. You kind of want things to rhyme in a certain way, and that's fine. I understand his intent.
Yes.
But then you had the third trilogy, which in its own way kind of sometimes did that, but we know why they did that, because they needed to do what worked for the fans.
Right. But Jar Jar Binks is the key.
Yes.
He's the key to all of it.
Yeah, he was missing. They should have put him in the last trilogy.
Anyway, but you've got all these films now, with the exception of the side movies, which to an extent you could argue that they've got their own little feel to them. But you've got these movies that all kind of have the same feel, even though they all look very different. You've got the original trilogy, which is obviously set in the 70s and 80s, which look older.
Right.
Then you've got the George Lucas trilogy, which looks a very much product of their time in the
1999
2000s.
and up, yeah.
Yes, and then now you've got the new trilogy, which looks like a product of their time.
Right.
But they have their own aesthetic, all three of them. Well, this has a completely different aesthetic.
Yes.
Which I'm like, this is the direction I've been wanting to see Star Wars, because now
Yes.
you've got all these films that all kind of have the same premise of
Right.
the Chosen One and the Force and the
Right.
evil of the Emperor and the
Right.
Empire, and it's like, you know what? I get it, and it's great, but
Star Wars
let's
is,
do
is more than
something
that.
else.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Now, a YouTube channel, it's very, very successful, popular YouTube channel that we watch once in a while called Red Letter Media, and those guys crack us up, and we watch them once in a while. And sometimes we agree with what they have to say, and sometimes we don't. But they said something a while back. I think this was when Force Awakens came out, maybe. And it was either Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. And they said something that kind of offended me a little bit. Not enough to be a dick and dislike or comment, you guys fucking suck and go kill yourselves. Because I'm not an asshole.
We have lives.
Yeah, we have lives. But it just kind of bugged me the wrong way, and it was, I think it was Rich Evans, and Rich Evans said that Star Wars is always going to be the same thing over and over again, because unlike Star Trek, there's nothing outside the box. Like, they don't think outside the box. Like, the Star Trek universe is huge and vast. And the Star Wars universe is this little bubble, and they're scared to, peek out of it. And I think what he meant was maybe in mainstream theatrical releases, Hollywood's scared to try something different.
They have proven that they are.
Which is why we liked Rogue One, because Rogue One was something different.
Way different.
But what bothered me with that was because there's so much lore, even though Disney now is like all the old stuff, comics and stuff is not canon.
Exactly, yes.
In the books, all that is not canon now. But there's so many graphic novels and comics and books and there's video games, and there's so much out there that makes the Star Wars universe huge, vast, and it's this big universe. And I'm just like, I kind of was a little bugged that he would say that, knowing all that other lore is out there. And it's kind of like, that's what made me happy about the Mandalorian show, because now we're seeing a snippet of there's more to
right?
there's more to Star Wars.
It just proves
than just glowy sticks.
It just proves that again, I hate to be on the Kathleen Kennedy hate train, but you have a producer in charge that had no vision, had no direction. She had no clue what she was doing with this franchise, as did Disney. And I said this in the Rise of Skywalker video.
Right.
They did not know what the fuck they were doing with this trilogy, with this whole franchise when they bought it. They just said, we want to make another trilogy, and then they just did it, and they had no clear vision with it. But look at what happened with The Mandalorian. You get fucking... you get, what's his name?
John.
Yeah, you get...
Favreau.
You get Jon Favreau, who writes this, and who's a producer on
this. Has a vision, has a beginning and an end.
Yes, and look at the result. You have this completely tonally consistent, story consistent, episodic, but also still story arc-ish, which is very old school and new school at the same time. And what I mean by that is television of anything prior to 2000s, television tended to be episodic by nature, meaning every episode was its own self-contained story. And when you started getting more into shorter seasons and now streaming seasons, you get the story arcs where every single episode has to lead into the next episode, has to lead into the next episode. Well, this I noticed it's both in a lot of ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is very interesting, and I enjoyed that element of it, where it's like you have both, and I appreciated that. But again, it's tonally consistent. You can see there's a vision. You can see there's a direction. We don't feel aimless. We don't feel like, where are we going with this? No, we know exactly where. No, we don't know where we're going, but you feel like we're not wandering, directionless, rudderless, which is what I felt like the entire time we were watching that fucking new trilogy. You know, and I'm just like, if I swear to God, if they keep this shit up with the TV series, I will be a lifelong fan of Disney Star Wars television series.
Are you hearing this, listeners out there? And Lady Phatblood is more of a Star Trek fan.
I am Star Trek ride or die.
Right.
Old Star Trek.
She just said if they keep this up, she will be...
If you keep up the quality...
Hanging up Mandalorian paintings in the bathroom.
if you keep up the quality, like if they have the same direction and the same care and attention to detail and attention to the story and development, like in the Obi-Wan, like if they do this with the Obi-Wan series, oh my God. I am like all over this. And if they get another series and they keep this kind of quality up, I'm like, dude, just fuck the films. Keep doing this. And I know the movies.
I think they're going to do that.
I know the movies are where the money is, but I think they've even thrown in the towel with trilogies. I think they've even said that they're not going to do trilogies for a while.
Yeah, they're scaling back on that.
Yeah, and
so we could have episode 10, but we're following Lando and his daughter. Is that what we're doing? Now, Sexy Sumo.
Like Lando's daughter.
Now, Sexy Sumo is here. You know, you can jump in and defend. You know, I mean, you're not as hard as on the new trilogy as we are.
I'm not as finicky or picky about it. I mean, I like a lot of things. I don't like a lot of things out of the whole saga. But I mean, like me,
you enjoy it for what it is.
I enjoy it for what it is. I mean, like the original trilogy is always obviously spectacular. Right. You know, I didn't see that till like I was 18, 19 years old, which...
I'm surprised, because you've seen everything.
I had no shit. But again, I mean, I grew up watching mainly rated R movies. Shame on me. Yeah. But it just, eventually I said I got to watch this to see what it's all about, and
you got hooked.
I freaking loved it. It was great, man. And then I got to see the re-release in the theaters for episode 4.
Oh, nice.
And then, I
did too.
But then I missed out on Empire and Return.
Yeah.
Because
which I regret.
Nobody wanted to take me to the theater, so
I regret because I saw Empire in the theater, man. Oh, I regret not doing it.
But then, I mean, after that, I was hooked. So then, eventually, when 1, 2, and 3 came out, I mean, I was ready to go. I was excited, man. And don't get me wrong, like you said, 1 has some issues. Yeah. And then it has some good stuff.
But at least, I mean, you are a fan, but at least you can still critique things,
of course,
and point out like, I see why people don't like that.
Like I said, I see the bad in it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still like it overall.
Yeah.
I mean, I still sit there from time to time and just pop it in and watch it, just because I like watching it.
Yeah. So see, not as harsh on the newest trilogy as we are, guys. But there's fans. There's some people out there that love episode 2.
You know, the last one was rushed, though.
To each his own, I guess.
That last one was rushed. They did cram quite a bit.
Yeah.
You know, just like Batman
Everyone's
vs Superman.
Screaming about now.
The J.J. Abrams cut?
/ George Lucas cut.
Huh?
Because the word is that before Disney stepped in and screwed the pooch on the editing and the reshoots and all that shit, the thing that they're saying is that J.J. Abrams had this massive collaboration with George Lucas on the story.
What?
Jar Jar was the Sith? He was hiding?
But they're saying that J.J. was trying to, like, you know, collaborate story-wise with George Lucas on the story, like, for ideas and where they could take things, like, with you know, Palpatine and all of that.
Yeah, you never know.
You know.
You never know what will happen.
Because because George Lucas had ideas for this 3rd trilogy, and Disney's like, oh, thanks, fuck you, bye.
Right.
They didn't care.
Give my $4 million.
Billion. Yeah. But, you know, obviously with the reshoots and everything, there was just everything basically got
fingers crossed
screwed
for an Abrams cut.
Darth Jar Jar?
No. No Darth Jar Jar.
Come on.
Anyway, back to the show.
So yeah, the show. So obviously, the funniest thing that I found about the show was that it took us a couple of episodes before we actually bit the bullet and got the subscription to Disney Plus. But I couldn't help but notice the next day after the first episode uploaded, I went to my gift set on my phone and I saw nothing but this little ridiculously adorable 80s style gremlin looking little motherfucker in the shape of a baby Yoda puppet, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Is that what's in the fucking Mandalorian?
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, I start hearing is, oh my god, baby Yoda, baby Yoda. I'm like, what the fuck is this show doing?
I came across GIFs.
Yeah.
GIFs or GIFs, whatever the fuck.
It depends on who you talk to.
One's the peanut butter, one's the computer.
And I was like, what is that?
Uh-huh.
Well, why do I love it? I don't know what it is.
Why is my heart warm?
All right, that's it. Order Disney Plus. We sold out. Fuck it. So anyway, back to the show. So clearly, the series was inspired by samurai Ronin films. We have Western inspiration here. And in this especially with this first episode, that whole end finale felt like the end action shootout sequence from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid when he got on that little Gatling gun or whatever and was just rolling around, just murking. When Pedro got on that gun and was murking all. I was like, this is Django. This is fucking Django right here. And I was just like, dude, this is just... We had a Western draw. We had almost a saloon scene.
In some scenes, you get Shane instead of a lone wolf and cub with him.
We thought more about that in the next episode.
Because Yoda, you got little baby Yoda in the little floating baby cart kind of little thing. Little baby
Chapter
pod.
2, The Child. Yes. So having tracked down a valuable quarry, the Mandalorian must now contend with thieving bandits.
So let me just give you my quick thoughts on the. So we didn't know. Obviously, we were staying away from all the spoilers for the first episode.
Right.
And I think by the time we did the subscription, we were maybe, was it 4 or 5 episodes in?
I think so.
And I think we marathoned it all.
Oh yeah,
like
we binged.
we just marathoned the shit out of it, waiting for the next episode. And the first episode hits. Baby Yoda makes the magical appearance. We pretty much just start gushing from the second, and we're just like, oh my god, I can't take this. And every time Baby Yoda shows up, it's like, oh my god, I can't do this. I can't handle this. And so obviously he's sent to take the kid back to the people.
What's left of the Empire?
Yes,
because at this point in the story, what's going on with the Empire?
That's after Return of the Jedi. A couple years after, Empire's fallen. So now you got the kind of like the Nazis. It just kind of went into hiding.
Right.
They're just separated and they're just doing little hiding.
And for some reason, they really want Baby Yoda
Yeah.
for experiments or whatnot. We're not sure why yet.
They want to test his force abilities, probably.
He ends up meeting up with this other droid that also has orders to get the kid, but his orders are to kill Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
And Mando is basically like looking back, forth, and all of a sudden you hear this shot, and down goes the droid.
Right.
And you realize that Mando has made the decision to say, fuck the orders, and he's going to protect the kid. And it's like, oh my god, this is the show. He's going to be protecting the baby.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, this is the fucking show. This is why people call it the Baby Yoda show.
I know.
It gets worse in the second episode when he
we didn't know right away that he was going to protect. Because he dropped him off.
Because
and then he realized, that I fucked up.
By then, but
then he goes back to rescue him.
That first scene though, when you get the shot where the baby, you get the hand shot.
Yeah, he's like he's poking him.
It's like, oh my god, he's got the feels. He's got the feels.
And you get the little
I see that.
Baby Yoda hand like reaching out to grab it.
Yeah, so at that point, I had assumed that it was going to be him, like, protect. But then obviously in the second episode, that goes in a different direction. But then it goes back to the whole, he's going to, end up protecting the kid. But that was, I think I started like getting a little too excited into that first episode. So I'm like, oh my god, he loves the baby already. Oh my god, it's going to be the Baby Yoda show.
And then the next episode, that's when we were thinking immediately, we got some lone wolf and cub adventures.
Yes.
Really inspired
El
here.
Topo.
El Topo. Oh god. El Topo!
Yeah.
If you guys want to see an interesting Western, and that's all we're going to say, have fun with that one.
Yeah.
But, so he runs into Quill. Very interesting, fun character. What did we end up finding out Quill's background was? Do you remember?
Oh, man.
He was a slave, right? And he was forced to work for the Empire.
Right, to do the mechanical stuff. And pretty much
he earned his freedom.
Yeah.
and he's kind of in his own way paying for it, his misdeeds.
Well, yeah. Well, after the Empire went down, he was free, right?
Yeah.
So he was just kind of roaming on his own in that planet.
Right.
And now he feels that for whatever treachery happened with the Empire that he was a part of, which even though he didn't want to do it, he wants to just be good. And
I'm on my second beer already. Let
me
know when you want another one.
I'm good with this one.
All right.
I'm feeling it.
Spiked tea, Lady Phatblood? No? You good? All right. But yeah, back to Quill.
Yeah, Quill. So he just wanted to make up for the bad deeds he did and help out.
But 2 is when their relationship began, when they kind of met each other. But I just, the I have spoken dialogue. I was like, look at this little dude that's talking shit. You don't even give a fuck. That's Mandalorian he's talking to.
The truth is that's actually Nick Nolte without makeup. So
it's him first thing in the morning.
That's it. He gets up, has a cup of coffee and a cigarette, and he's good to go.
It's the most honest work he's had in forever.
Yeah, but so far, so good in the show, enjoying it. Now, the big one is right here. Chapter 3, The Sin. Episode 3. It's about the battered Mandalorian returns to his client for reward, but some deals don't end neatly. And that's when he, kind of makes the decision to protect Yoda, get Yoda back. Baby Yoda, excuse us. The child. Yes. And at this point, because of his misdeeds within the guild, he's kind of made enemies with Carl Weathers' character.
Yep.
And so now he's basically fighting the guild. He's fighting what's left of the stormtroopers that's in that area, and he's fighting the guild. And we have this amazing badass sequence where the fucking Mandalorians in his clan show up at the end. Rocket packs and all.
Help the brother out, man.
Yeah, that was amazing. And whoever directed this one, I forget the female's name.
This is Deborah Chow, and I think she's the one who's in charge of the Obi-Wan show.
Episode 3 and Episode 7 supposedly is 2 of the fans' favorites.
I'm pretty
fans of this show. That's
their
2 favorite episodes.
She's the one that's going to be spearheading the Obi-Wan show.
Woo! What's her name?
Who directed it?
Deborah Chow.
Yeah.
That's her
name.
She
did. She did Episode 3 and 7, which is everyone's favorites.
Right.
And she's doing Obi-Wan.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, man.
I don't know like how far capacity, like if she's going to be producing it or like what kind of, like how far involved.
Right.
But I know she's going to have a pretty good deal to do with it.
Well, I'm just happy she at least knows how to film action.
Yeah.
That's my concern.
That's really good.
I'm happy about that. So, fingers crossed for the future of Obi-Wan TV series. But yeah, Chapter 3 was fucking badass. Great fight, action, shooting sequence at the end. And now, the next 2 episodes, a lot of fans have issues with. And I think they're probably the weakest of the series. They're not bad episodes. They're completely fine for what they are. But this is the critique of what people kind of like, well, I was going to give it 10 stars, but these two next episodes kind of bring it down to like an 8.5. But that's what other people, we're going to talk about what we felt.
Right.
But that's what a lot of people think. So I might agree with a few things. We'll see how this goes. So basically, so far what have we said? We've had Lone Wolf and Cub moments. We've had Django moments. We've had Fistful of Dollars moments. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid moments.
Don't forget
and
El Topo.
Now, stop talking about El Topo. We're going to traumatize people. They're going to go watch El Topo. They're going to think they're watching look at this old school Western. Yep. And then they're going to be like, what the fuck? I'm traumatized. What the hell did I just watch? And then
you're a sick man.
Yeah, they're gonna contact me and be like, Sexy Sumo recommend that. Well, it's not my fault, man. He says what's on his mind.
That's it.
So the next episode,
I have spoken.
OGP, buddy of ours, filmmaker, YouTuber, he posted something on Facebook, and he said, "What the fuck was first he said Chapter 5 put him to sleep." He said, Chapter 4, what the fuck is this? I feel like a 9-year-old wrote this. So I kind of get what he's saying. So for me, This was the Seven Samurai
exactly.
episode.
It's exactly what it was.
So I don't know.
It was just a 25, 26-minute version of Seven Samurai. So I was like, well, I mean...
I don't know if OGP's seen Seven Samurai or knows it exists. Either way, though, Seven Samurai is how long of a movie?
It's very long.
It's a very long film.
Very, very long film.
It's a classic
or
movie.
It's 26-episode anime, depending on what you watch.
It's one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yes,
but
very good film.
It's one of those that, okay, let's cram maybe a 3-hour movie into one episode of The Mandalorian. And that's why it felt... I kind of get his vibe.
Yeah.
That's where it kind of felt really rushed. But it was almost beat for beat. Oh, the villagers are getting persecuted by the bandits.
You got the random widowed mother who for no reason can use a gun really well.
Yeah.
The widow was like a skilled marksman, and while the rest of the villagers couldn't do shit. It's like... Okay.
Yeah, it felt...
Yeah.
It did felt squished.
Yeah.
Could it be possible she had some training in the past?
It's
if
possible.
she did, we'll never know.
It was just
it was one of those. It was what's her name? Olivia Wilde from The Predator. We'll never know. We'll never know why she can use a gun. Doesn't matter. Fuck you. How dare you ask? None of your goddamn business.
She's a military scientist. Okay. Anyway,
Did I see Olivia Wilde?
I know. I was like,
Olivia Munn.
Yeah, I was confused.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, wait a minute.
Olivia's fucked up.
Olivia Wilde.
Apologies.
Yeah, Olivia Munn.
X-Men?
Olivia Munn.
Yeah.
Olivia Munn was.
Okay.
Yeah. She was Psylocke.
There you go.
Cosplay Psylocke.
Which I think I saw a thumbnail of her being on that new show on the Marvel show. Was it Shang-Chi or...
Oh, that's the movie? Quang-Chi?
Yeah.
The Master Kung Fu?
I saw a picture
Would
of her
people
there.
Boo!
Stop casting Olivia Munn?
Because I think she's playing the same character.
She's playing Psylocke?
I think so. It looked just like that character.
Oh, Jesus.
But
maybe it's a cameo.
Are they actually going to give her more dialogue?
Because it said first X-Men teaser of X-Men character, and
Oh.
so
Fine.
Okay.
Fine.
maybe
Wait,
they do it better.
wait, I thought
Disney
they
owns
couldn't-
it.
But why would they admit that's an old Fox property? I thought they would just start recasting everybody now because it's Disney.
Apparently.
Oh
On
God!
there.
Stop making Olivia Munn a thing. She's not a thing. Nobody wants her as a thing. Jesus. Well, some people want her as a thing, I'm sure. But not as an acting thing. Okay.
Anyway.
Gotta pay the bills.
We get introduced to Gina Carano's character. You want to go into her little backstory?
What, that she's hot? American Gladiators?
Real life kickboxer / mixed martial artist. Gina Carano / turned actor now.
Yeah,
Deadpool. Deadpool and many other things. She's in this. We get introduced to her in this. I like her little fight and banter with the Mandalorian back and forth was fun.
She used to be an ex-trooper, I believe.
Yes.
Right?
What do they call her? The villain, we'll go into him a little bit later. But he mentioned that she was from Alderaan.
Yeah.
Did he say she was a shock trooper?
Shock trooper, yes.
Yeah, so she's a fucking badass. No problem, have no issues her going toe-to-toe or holding her own against the Mandalorian. I have no issue. I have no problems with that. But yeah, the episode itself was Seven Samurai in 45-minute.
Not even 45 minutes. These episodes, that's something you got to remember.
30 minutes?
They're barely 30 minutes. They're very short. This is not Game of Thrones. Sorry, babe.
Right.
These are not Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
These are not 50-minute,
hour-long
episodes. These are very short.
Yeah. But I was okay. I can feel the squeeze, but I was okay with it because it was, okay, they're doing Seven Samurai thing. That's what they're doing.
That's the one that scene, right? With Baby Yoda holding the cup of coffee?
Yeah. All the Baby Yoda moments probably in the episode were definitely the positives in Sanctuary episode 4. But the only thing that I was just kind of like, okay. It was a nice thought. It was nice, but I was kind of like, all right. Was the widower. Her trying to get, Pedro, the Mandalorian, the Mando to stay, retire there, and I'm kind of like, did you know this guy for like 5 minutes?
She wanted some dung, dude.
I get it.
Mandalorian.
Well,
dung.
just fuck.
She's heard
just
good
fuck. You don't have to.
Good things about Mandalorian.
You don't have to change him. You don't have to marry him. If you're horny, fuck.
Yep.
And move, then kick him out of your house.
That's it. Just shoot off that flamethrower.
Who knows? He could be fucking hideous if he takes the mask off.
Leave the mask on.
You know, he could look like fucking.
Does that mean?
Hey, you guys, sloth.
Just because he doesn't take off the helmet, doesn't mean he can't take off his pants.
Maybe she likes it with the helmet on.
There you go.
Ooh.
That's 2 helmets just to work.
I don't know. It just felt kind of like maybe an attraction I can kind of buy, but she was trying to get her a man.
Yep.
She was trying to get a hubby.
She needed somebody to raise that kid.
Her son needs a new daddy. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like it's just like nowadays, man. These girls are trying to find a baby daddy, and that's what she was after.
So,
she saw the
Mandalorian.
armor. She's like, man, that's expensive armor.
Real life.
This guy can buy a lot of things.
What did you think of the? What was that? That wasn't an AT-AT.
No, ATST.
ATST.
Yes.
What do you think of that shot of him in the forest, chasing him with the red eyes?
The red eyes.
That was kind of dope.
That was.
I kind of like that. So yeah.
Even when it was destroying everybody, he was just blasting away.
Yeah.
That was great.
Up to this point, a fine episode. Definitely had entertaining moments, but probably the weakest so far out of the 4. Now, Chapter 5. Now, give your honest opinion of Chapter 5, which is the Gunslinger. So, on a familiar desert planet, the Mandalorian helps a rookie bounty hunter who is in over his head.
Yeah, that's the one with Chun-Li, right?
Yeah, we like Chun-Li.
Yeah, Chun-Li was good.
Even though she didn't really do that much, but she sold the presence that she was a badass.
Was a great sniper.
Yeah. So, babe, what's your thoughts? You and, Sumo's thoughts on the Gunslinger. This is the one another one where people were like, this really felt like filler.
I mean,
it didn't really
it was kind of put together. The guy was a douchebag in there.
I mean, I thought it was a bit slow. And I think it was like, okay, you got this young upstart who wants to make a name for himself at Mando's expense.
Yeah.
And he ends up getting his, obviously.
Right.
But then now you've got this whole intrigue because it kind of ended on a mystery.
Yeah.
Right? Because didn't she end up getting killed by somebody else?
He killed her.
Well, yes. Well, that's the Mando. He ended up.
But didn't something else happen at the end that was like a mystery? Am I remembering?
Well,
that wrong?
I thought the bounty hunter killed Chun-Li because she convinced him Mandalorian's a lot more valuable than me.
Uh-huh.
So I thought he shot her. He's like, oh yeah, you're right. And they thought he was waiting for Mando to show up, and then or he tried to take him, and Mando overcame him.
Because he came back and she was already down, right?
Right. I believe so. It's been a while since we've seen it, so for incorrects, we apologize. But that's kind of the vibe. But was anything else in this episode around all of that
really worth mentioning?
Yeah, in terms of where are we going with the story? In terms of, I know he had issues with his ship.
Mm-hmm.
He dropped it off. The garage lady took care of Baby Yoda and took care of his ship.
That's the lady from Stranger with Candy.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was her.
You're probably right on that one. But anything else happened that was of importance? Because then it was kind of a filler episode.
Yeah, it was just kind of.
So again,
together.
So we're not really disagreeing, I guess, too much with the people's negative Nancy's out there that they had issues with this.
Didn't something else happened at the end of that? There was like something mysterious ended up happening at the end of that episode. With somebody came up to Chun-Li's body at the end, and it was like a setup for something else, and we never found out what that was.
Okay. So there was
I just remembered something mysterious happened at the end of that episode.
So at least
that's why I'm
happened.
remembering things incorrectly, but I do remember something happened at the very end of that episode that was like, what was that all? It was like that moment from fucking the first season of Daredevil with that big buff dude that was like asking Stick, is he ready? And we never found out who the fuck that guy was, and that never went anywhere in any of the seasons of any of the shows that we ever saw ever again. He never came up again.
He was like fucking Akuma.
Yeah, but that happened at the end of that episode. It was like this mysterious figure that walked up to the body or something like that.
Was it him?
Which one? Him?
Yeah.
I don't know. But we never. I don't think we ever saw that.
What is his name, please?
I don't.
It's Gus Fring.
Yeah, from Breaking Bad. I want some chicken now.
But
Pollos Hermanos.
That was like the only thing I remember.
No, I said Pollos Hermanos. Oh. That's the restaurant he owned. Who was he?
Well, she's gonna look up his name, but yeah, maybe it was him. I don't know.
Wasn't he General something?
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
But that was the only thing I remember happening at the very end of that, where it was like, that was the only thing that happened that...
Yeah.
What was that noise? Okay, I thought that was like something stopping on the...
Beer can number 2 is gone. Going for 3 now.
But that was the only thing that I remember happening in that episode that's like, oh, what was that all about?
Okay.
And I don't think anything ever came of that so far, but I was like, oh, maybe that'll happen later on in the next season. We'll have a flashback to this. So far, the show's been really good about recapping things to let you know, hey, you remember this? Because now it's coming back here. So it's been really good about doing that.
I enjoyed that.
That's been pretty nice.
So 4 and 5, not horrible episodes. Had their entertaining moments. I was still with the show. I still liked the show. But Chapter 6, for me, I was like, this is the best episode of this
really
show.
Good, yes.
And we have The Prisoner. The Mandalorian is part of a crew of mercenaries springing a convict from a prison ship. That's right. So let's talk about that.
Yeah, so like the synopsis says, this one was kind of like, it ended up becoming not a horror episode, but it had kind of elements by the end of it.
Right. It got creepy and kind of dark.
Yeah, like that was kind of a lot of fun.
Bill Burr had the nice comedic relief on that. It was really good.
Bill Burr was cracking me up only because it's Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Like
At first
it was like, oh my god, what is Bill Burr doing in this fucking episode? But
always being his dick self.
But it was kind of like, he's fine. Yeah. The kind of character he's playing, it was like, nah, it's fine.
At first I was like, oh, what? I was like, Bill Burr?
Yeah.
And it looked a little weird. But by the middle episode, I was like, oh, he's perfectly casted for this type of character. Yeah. So I didn't have any issues with it. And as you pointed out, Bill Burr, you pointed that out, we were talking about the show the other day, that Bill Burr has given Star Wars their first curse word.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Put it out there.
I got my lovely little Clancy Brown fix.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love me some Clancy Brown.
Mr. Krabs.
And also the Kurgan.
Yeah.
Also Sergeant Zim. Also just about any fucking video game character you can think of from any platform you could name.
I don't know what alien he was, but he was like fucking indestructible.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. When they had this fight scene with Mando and the 2 doors shut, I thought his head got smashed, and then later he's like, "Oh, I got a headache or something."
It's not R-rated Star Wars.
Well, anyway, he meets up with Bobby from Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, Bobby,
and they have a past, obviously, and he's like, "Hey, I'll give you this if you go on this run and get this guy out of prison." And
because he needed parts for the ship.
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes, that was the deal, and Mando teamed up with the Ragtag and Ragamuffins. And so we have Bill Burr, who's like this expert marksman. They said he was good.
He's good with his pistols, yeah.
I wasn't a stormtrooper, asshole!
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he was a good shot, like the one dude on, what was it, X-Men? Was it Wolverine Origins? Remember the guy with the Asian dude with the pistols? I forget his name.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, he was good with the pistols.
Yeah. He was kind of leading it, but still kind of fucking up the mission.
Yeah.
And then we have Clancy Brown, who's obviously he's the heavy. And then we have the... What's the alien race? Twyla? Twi'lek?
Kind of like the one...
Jesus.
Twatty? I don't know.
Oh my god. Wow.
She was a dancer on Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, whatever race that is.
It's stripper.
Yeah, there's
Is it Twi'lek? Is that the one?
Twi'lek, there you go.
Twi'lek.
Twi'lek?
It's L-E-K, right?
I just want to make sure I'm not saying Twilight.
L-E-K.
Yeah.
Okay, Twilight.
Twilight.
Yeah, Lick.
Lick.
Yeah. Played by the actress wonderfully who was on Game of Thrones! Fuck that show. So, yeah, she was fun. Having fun being over the top. Obviously has a past with Mando. She was licking her chops every time he was around. You know what I'm saying? You get a little vibe here throughout the show.
He's got a big
I think.
Tanya.
He beat me to the punch. Sexy Sumo. Mando's packing.
He's packing.
That's what's happening here.
Over.
This is the way.
That is the way to the butt.
This channel's not for children.
No,
if you didn't know that
it's
already.
verbal nectar.
That's right. Anyway, So they go on this prison breakage. You find out it's Twi'lek's brother.
It's like the Cube.
Yeah, like the Cube. And I just really, I was really loving the show even more now because it's so scaled back. It's not these huge, gigantic, massive ship battles or anything like that. It's just scaled back. We're introducing these characters. We know their personalities. You know, we're in the ship, going down these corridors, you know, on our little action adventure here. And we get some really good action in this episode. Like, Mando's throwing down, fucking up the more droids in there, and he's fucking them up.
The guard droids over
there? Yeah, the guard droids. We had a cameo. Well, not a cameo, but it was a cameo from one of the race aliens from Solo. Remember that one pilot that was helping out them in the beginning? He was kind of... We were like, what is this, the Rocket Raccoon of Star Wars?
Man, who was that?
And he ended up dying. He was like the pilot of the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, his species like showed up in the prison in this episode.
It was one of the cells, right?
Yeah, so that was just, you know, pointless information sharing this with you guys. Yeah, just great episode. Some damn hilarious moments. Some really good action. Oh, Lady Phatblood and yours, all our favorite part. One of the favorite parts of the film was when Mando was sneaking up on Bill Burr.
Oh,
that was fucking dope. The direction of that. He was like fucking Batman. The lights were going in and out, and he kept getting closer and closer. I was like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now here's my prediction. Season 2, we're gonna see all these characters again because they all lived.
It's true.
So why not?
But we don't know about Chun-Li on this.
Well, not Chun-Li. I mean, in this episode.
Just in this episode alone? Yeah, they all did live.
They all lived.
Yeah.
Well, no, because remember they shot up the ship at the end?
No, the ones that ended up, the Bill Burr,
the crew.
Chick.
He locked them in prison, in the jail.
They ended up surviving.
Okay,
but the brother, because he returned the brother to the station with the guy that hired him in the first place.
Bobby.
And then he leaves the tracking. They had this whole thing with the tracking device, and he ended up tricking, because he knew he was going to get double-crossed by them.
Yeah.
So he leaves the tracker with...
The Rogue Squadron?
Yeah.
They came
and the X-Wings come up.
Mando leaves the tracker on Twi'lek's brother.
So the brother presumably is dead, along with the guy that hired him.
He killed Sam Crow.
But the three that...
Killed Sam Crow.
Yes. I heard that the 3 pilots in those
they were like
X-Wings, they were other directors for the...
Yeah, with like rebels and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. The 3 pilots in the X-Wings that attacked the station. They were like writers or creators of other properties. Yeah. But great episode. Great switcheroo-y. Oh! We're forgetting Richard Ayoade.
Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, we're forgetting him.
It's funny, we have 2 actors / writers / anything you will that were a part of this as droids.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Ayoade, who is a droid in this, who you might know if you ever watched the IT Crowd. He
played Moss.
Or if you've ever seen The Mighty Boosh, he played characters in that.
Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
One of the greatest shows of all time.
Sexy Sumo was down. He's a fan of the show as well.
Yes, I will fight you to the death. I will die on that hill. He was a droid. He was the droid in that episode, and then in the final episode, well, you find out it's the same droid that was in the first episode. Gets reprogrammed. You find out that droid is played by Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
What? Who also directed the final episode? What? But we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But that was quite easy to find out.
Oh yeah, when we were talking about how we really loved the look of the droid, who was with the ragamuffins piloting the ship because. It was a fucking practical effects. It was a real person the top half.
Yeah.
Was a real person in a robot suit. You could tell because it looked fucking real. But the legs was a mixture of CGI parts.
Yeah, for some of the parts, so they look all.
And it looked all mechanical. Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's the point of CGI is enhancing the practical, making it look awesome.
Which is something we haven't talked about, Baby Yoda. Yoda up at this whole show, this whole time, which we haven't talked about Baby Yoda at all in terms of, we talked about how fucking adorable and sickening it is, and how cute he is.
As
sexy, eat it.
Yeah, as Sexy Sumo, I told him I can't take it.
Yeah.
I can't take more Baby Yoda. I can't handle the cuteness.
Yeah.
When Sexy Sumo mentioned, he's like, he's so cute it makes you want to throw up.
Yes.
Exactly.
There you go.
Just want to cook him in the oven.
Baby Yoda has...
You want to burn Baby Groot to keep Baby Yoda warm.
Yes. Yeah. So Baby Yoda is also a mixture of practical and CGI
and
effects.
Look how amazing he
looks.
And
it's so effective, and it's like,
it's more realistic feel.
I'm never one of those people that says practical is always better, but I think it's been proven that when you mix the two, I think Lord of the Rings is the standard. Yeah. Lord of the Rings had probably the most mixed application, the Peter Jackson trilogy back in the early 2000s. Those films had the most mixture of in-camera effects, like tricks, forced perspective, miniatures, this and that, mixed with CGI, which was constantly evolving throughout the production of the franchise, or of the trilogy. And that's the way you want to go. You want to bring the best of all your tricks of the trade. When you rely too heavily on one or the other, you get, I'm sorry, Harbinger down. I'm sorry. I apologize. I know you guys did your best. I know you did your best. But you get Harbinger down, where you try to do that, where it's all practical, but you have such a little budget, and you don't have the right lighting, and you don't have everything you need, where it looks hokey, looks like a bad puppet show. You have that. Yeah. And then you have the second trilogy of prequels, where it's almost all CGI, which I hate to stick up for Phantom Menace, but Phantom Menace had some sets.
They did, yeah.
They had some sets. Yeah. But then you go to Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and it's like, whoa. It's almost nothing and all you see is CGI. You see the green screen.
And even some of the CGI in Lord of the Rings seems dated.
Some of it, of course, it's going to be. And that's the problem with CGI.
But the point you're making, a good mixture of both.
It's always best when you blend. It stands the test of time. It is always best when you take your best elements from all of your tricks of the trade and you blend them together, and that's always going to be what holds up the best. Yeah. And you've got this show already where you've got close-ups of Baby Yoda, and it's physical and it's tangible, and you can see the actors holding it, and you can see them interacting with it,
making them walk.
Yeah, and you've got the expressions that he's constantly making with a stupid little adorable mouth of his, going, "Yeah, you little bastard! I just want to freaking noogie your little freaking green head."
Which was a hilarious, scene where, the Richard Ayoade droid gets wind of the guild, hunting for Mando because of he's holding the child. The child's valuable, or he's going to look for the child, and he's about to shoot the child, and the child Baby Yoda is like hiding, and then he's like, "Oh fuck it, I can't hide anymore." So he tries to use force powers, and then boom, the droid's chest bursts open, and Yoda looks at his hand. He's like, "Huh?" And then the droid falls over, and it's just Mando. Yeah. Shot the droid in the back, which was hilarious. And before their bonding, what kind of helped with their bonding was, we didn't really talk about Baby Yoda that much earlier, but him saving Mando.
Yeah, when he was trying to wrestle that big monster for the egg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we've been finding out throughout the series at this point is that the child has been demonstrating a great amount of force sensitivity. Now, we also know that this baby is 50 years old. Right. So we've come to the obvious conclusion that they age very differently than
very slowly.
Most species that we're aware of at this point. And that's why he doesn't speak. He just makes little noises. And he looks like an adorable little gremlin from the 80s.
We will be buying the Funko Pop.
Yeah, good job, John.
The 10-inch size.
John, you got us.
I recommend the actual vinyl head and soft body one that's coming out. It looks really nice.
As long as it looks like Baby Yoda.
I think NECA might be releasing
If it looks just like Baby Yoda, then yeah.
It's
third beer is done. I'm going for number 4.
It's real cool because
could you please not die tonight? Yeah, that'd be great. Could you not?
It's just beer.
Oh my god.
It's just beer.
Anyway, so
the body is plush.
So the baby has been demonstrating all this force sensitivity, but what I've really been enjoying about this, and some people who like to troll other people are screaming, "Mary Sue! Mary Sue!" Which I'm like, you know what? You're not paying attention. Every time Baby Yoda does this, he gets all tuckered out. And he passes out of exhaustion, which is just so fucking cute. But he's getting a little bit better at it. He's gaining a little more control. Doesn't get knocked out for as long an amount of time. Every time he uses it, he seems to get a little bit stronger out of it. So that's something else that we're speculating. Why are they going after him? What are they? that's something that, as one of the mysteries of the show is like, what are they doing with him? What do they want from him?
Right.
Who is he? Where did he come from?
Right.
Why is he so force sensitive? That's some of the questions that we still have yet to answer in the show, which is, what season 2 is going to be for, hopefully. But anyway, back to the episode.
Chapter 6 was the one where I was like, God damn it. If I wasn't on board already, this has brought me back. So, good shit, smashing shit. Now, Chapter 7, The Reckoning. An old contact extends an invitation for the Mandalorian to make peace with his enemies.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Sorry, I had to burp.
Sweet baby Yoda. Yeah.
See?
Sexy Sumo showing
Look
something.
At this.
What is this?
Never mind the pop.
It's from Mattel, dude. It's actually Mattel. Vinyl head, plush body.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's 11-inch.
Yes.
So it's 1 inch bigger than the Funko Pop version.
Yes.
Damn it. Yeah, we're going to have to give in by that.
It's a sweet thing, man.
Damn you. Consume. Obey.
We have you nerds by the balls.
They live. But yeah, Chapter 7, another fan favorite. Everybody loves this one. So let's talk about this one.
Chapter 7. Let me see. That's the one where they're trapped in the bar, right?
Yeah, so...
the TIE Fighter, yes.
So they get contacted by Carl Weathers' character.
Apollo.
And he's kind of like, look, I got this idea, I got this plan, let's team up, and then kind of bamboozle and hoodwink the Empire that still wants the child, let's do it. And we have and so, Mando's like, all right, fuck it. Everyone's my fucking enemy at this point. I'm being hunted everywhere. All right, let's do this. So he runs into Gina Carano's character again and Quill's character, and they do this team up. Excuse me. And one of the hilarious things happen. They're around a they have a little, not a campfire, not a camp, but they have a little fire brewing in the desert. And they get attacked by these winged alien creatures.
Oh yeah, where kind of
which was a pretty cool scene.
When they're in the dark, right?
Yeah, and Carl Weathers gets fucked up, and here we have our scene of Baby Yoda. He's basically going to bleed out and die, Carl Weathers' character, and we have Baby Yoda sneaking his way over there like a little ninja, a little adorable ninja. Wugga wugga, yeah, little and get you some little ninja stars.
Something we haven't mentioned is
katanas.
That we've already hinted. Baby Yoda has already made an effort to try to force heal Mando, but Mando misinterpreted what he was doing, and so he pushed him away in an earlier episode. So this time around, we actually get to see for the first time Baby Yoda do the actual force healing, which is what I suspect the reason Disney Plus wanted to air this before The Rise of Skywalker.
Rey had it.
So that way people weren't screaming, why the fuck is Rey doing force healing when we've never seen this before?
In the lore, outside of the films, and Rebels or anything else that you may know of, was force healing a thing?
I never saw it till now.
Okay. I was watching an episode of this was YouTube channel. He does all these Star Wars. If that's the case,
Qui-Gon would have still been alive, man. They could have just healed his wound right there.
Right. Anakin could have healed Padme.
Yeah.
They hadn't been taught that yet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Obi-Wan was still learning. Okay, that's why he didn't save Qui-Gon. Okay.
There's levels to this Jedi.
Okay,
shit.
All right. You just don't get it.
So I watched a very interesting story about Darth Revan, the Prodigal Knight, and I instantly became fan, of the story of Revan. There's comic books, there's books, but he's mostly popular from Knights of the Old Republic video game. The very popular video game that came out many years ago. And Sexy Sumo is showing us more. He's torturing us here.
Sorry.
Showing us more Baby Yoda items.
It comes with accessories, man. Accessories.
It comes with the frog.
It comes with the frog, so you can feed Baby Yoda the frog. That's what you're showing us right now?
His little drink cup.
God damn it.
Anyway, I'm trying to get down here.
Sorry.
Anyway, Darth Revan, story of the Prodigal Knight, was introduced in the Knights of the Old Republic video game. a very popular video game back in the day, which I've never played.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
But in that, I could have sworn in the stories and all the lore that I was watching on this YouTube channel, this guy was talking about the saga of Darth Revan. He mentions that he did have force healing. And Darth Malak was another character that ended up having the ability to absorb energy.
What about Pelagus? That's the other one that Sidious was talking about.
Did he have that
where
too?
he could actually bring back the dead.
Right. So outside of the lore, it's kind of been there, I guess, right there. But in the film and TV medium, we're being introduced to it for the first time. I don't really have an issue with Baby Yoda doing it. We had issues. We didn't have issues with the Force healing in Rise of Skywalker. We just had issues with some of the plot with Rise of Skywalker.
That was the.
But we didn't have issues with the healing itself.
That honestly was the thing I didn't have issue with in the Rise of Skywalker, because if
was the Force healing.
If you want to argue anything,
it's more plot issues.
Well, you want to argue anything, it's like, well, she had the Jedi texts. She could learn anything she wanted to.
Right.
In that goddamn film, because she's had them for we don't know how long. We don't know exactly how long it's been in between the films.
Between both.
Yeah, she's been reading the texts. She could technically.
But then people could.
She's super sensitive. We already know she's a Palpatine.
But then people could say, well, if Luke had the texts, why didn't he heal his dad?
Luke didn't have the text yet.
Yeah, he didn't have it at that time.
Oh.
Yeah, Luke technically hadn't been fully trained. He was a Jedi, sure. Knight, right? But he didn't have anything yet.
Right.
And at that point,
That's true.
But I'm just saying, It's like she had the text. We already know she's super strong because of her lineage. Okay, you've already dusted that problem right there. She's a Palpatine. So fuck off with your bitching about. And I'm not a Rey cheerleader.
She's a Skywalker.
Fuck that. I'm just saying she's a Palpatine. So you can like. Stop complaining about why she's so powerful. It's because she's a Palpatine, so stop complaining about that. Right. Okay, and I'm not saying it all explains everything, but it does. If you want to be simple...
She had electricity come out of her hands.
There you go. Yeah. So I'm just saying she had the text, she could learn anything she wanted to, so I didn't have a problem with that. Now, people have been complaining, you're going to complain about Rey, but you're not going to complain about Baby Yoda. Well, in this universe, we've got things that are already more intuitive.
Right.
You've got things that are more intuitive. And I don't have a problem with that.
Execute order, plot convenience.
Sure, why not?
And he's a baby, and he's adorable.
So we have this hilarious scene where Baby Yoda...
We also have something that's expending a whole lot of energy and passing out.
Yes.
And getting tired and exhausted. Something that Rey never once had issue with.
Right.
You've got characters that expend all this energy, and they're perfectly fine.
Like sex. Expend all the energy, you pass out. Oh.
We can't have Rey be sexual. Sorry. It would have been fun, but...
She has no privates.
Where the fuck are we going with that?
I don't know.
And you're not the one drinking the beer.
Yeah.
Here we go.
One beer does it for me.
Anyway, so we have this hilarious sequence where Baby Yoda's sneaking his way over there to heal Apollo Creed, Carl Weathers' character, and he goes...
I thought he was going to throw in the towel.
He's gonna throw in the towel.
Just throw in the towel.
Throw in the towel. Throw the damn towel. and Baby Yoda's reaching out to touch his wound, and he goes, "He's gonna eat me." It was hilarious. It was hilarious, but no, he heals him, and after that, Carl Weathers were like, "Oh fuck, no, I love this little dude now.
He's adorable.
I want my own little plush."
So he became Chubbs. He turned into Chubbs.
Yeah. So he ends up killing two other people of the guild that were with him. Carl Weathers kills them because he feels bad now.
Because the whole thing was a trap, obviously. The whole thing, they were going to betray them and turn the kid into the original people that wanted him in the first place.
What if the healing turned him good? Like the energy put in him, all of a sudden made him the good guy.
Well, then that would be manipulative and wrong, so we're not going to get into that theory. That would be terrible. The implications of that are horrendous. Oh my god.
Metachlorians do a lot of things.
Oh my god. Metachlorians alone are evil.
Oh, I can imagine Baby Yoda's metachlorian count.
Through the roof, man.
Oh man.
I think Anakin's was high. Whew.
So anyway, he turns to the good side, at least temporarily, because he's still the leader of the guild, or at least that guild in that area. So anyway, he's like, well, fuck it. We still got to kind of go through with this, and don't worry. This should be like 4 stormtroopers. That's all. Should be fine.
It's a minimum security.
Yeah, and then we'll, I'll take you as a prisoner. I'll take Mando as a prisoner, and we'll have it all rigged, and you'll break free, and we'll kill everyone and save the day. Obviously, that doesn't work out. As soon as they arrive, there's probably like 15 stormtroopers that come up out of nowhere, and then we have our heroes, our anti-heroes, stuck inside the bar with a huge fucking group of stormtroopers on the outside with some fucking death troopers from Rogue One show up. And then we are introduced to a villain that I am so happy he is not dead. And I can't wait to see this guy because this actor is fantastic. And what is his name?
I'm trying to find that.
Thank you. Thank you. He shows up, commands the screen, and I was just like, yes, more of you, please.
I do not know.
We are fact-checking right now. Stay tuned.
Can you play like a
Keep listening.
Typing sound in the background?
Ching!
Is the character's name Gideon?
Was it Gideon?
Is it General Gideon?
Was it Crazy Gideon? Does it say it on the next one if you go to the next one?
Such fucking professionals here, I swear.
Professionals, that's right.
No, it doesn't say
it doesn't. It doesn't say on IMDb.
I can't pull up anything, man. Oh, wait. Now it's pulling up here. Took a little time.
We're getting to it.
It's getting there.
Kill some time so I sing some Richard Cheese for you.
Moff Gideon.
Yes,
Moff Gideon.
At the Star Wars Cantina. Music and blasters and old Jedi Masters at the Star Wars. Yoda, he was a Muppet.
Huh? Is that the Bill Murray song?
No, that's Richard Cheese.
Yeah, but Moff Gideon was his name.
Moff.
M-O-F-F.
Oh, Moff.
Like motherfuckers.
Okay, motherfuckers from around here. Moff Gideon shows up, and he's like, look, y'all know you're outnumbered. Y'all know you're about to fucking die. Bring us the fucking child. Actually, what did he say? He's like, he actually gave them some time.
Yeah.
Right? And that's kind of how that episode ended, didn't it?
Right, because he was giving him time
or something like that.
Right. I was like, damn, I was expecting him to, that was kind of generous. I was expecting him to be like, you got 15 minutes to decide.
Yeah, he wanted to give enough time to get the package delivered.
Yeah. And meanwhile, they're inside, pinned down, and obviously they can't go out there guns a-blazing at the moment. But while they're pinned down, they're communicating to Quill, get the fucking Baby Yoda out of there, man. Yeah. Get him out.
Get him back to the ship. You get to the ship, there's safety protocols, like they can lock down the ship.
Yeah.
They won't be able to get to him inside the ship. So he's racing back to get the Baby Yoda back to the ship, and now you got these troopers on his tail.
Scout troopers.
Yeah.
And they end up shooting Quill, and man, that was rough.
That was
rough.
That sucked.
That fucking sucked.
I got a little sad. I'm not gonna lie.
That hurt, man.
It was like, because I mean, you gotta understand, this is a character. He's one of those characters where he's not there often, but when he is there, he has a presence.
Yeah.
And
for a short little dude.
Yeah, he has this really quiet, like dignified, important presence. You can't really explain it unless you watch. There's some wisdom there. Yeah, and he's a good, genuinely good character.
Yes.
Who's there for good intentions, trying to do a good thing, and he's an ally. And
he modified the droid to be good.
Yeah, that was something else that we haven't brought up. The droid that was originally.
Do you know the name of the droid? What was the number on the droid?
The IG-11.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was
IG-11.
I believe so. Yeah.
IG-11. So he rebuilt
Instagram
the droid.
11.
He rebuilt the droid that was originally set on killing Baby Yoda, and of course that pisses off Mando because, as we've learned throughout the show, Mando has an extreme dislike of droids because, as you find out, when he was a child, his people were attacked, and his parents were killed by
droids.
By a siege of droids.
What were the droids called again? Those are big ones from Clone Wars.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Yeah, those were Clone Wars. No, the live action movies. Those same droids were there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because there was the regular.
Oh, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forget. What destroyers though? Destroyers were the spinning ones.
Yeah.
So I can't remember what they were.
And of course, Quill reprograms the droid to be the baby's nursemaid, protector, which Mando's just like, no, fuck that. But that obviously this episode cliffhangs on, unfortunately, Quill is dead, and the troopers pick up the baby, and that's how the episode ends.
Right.
And
that hurt.
Yeah.
And why did it hurt?
Because we cared about the character.
Because we cared about the character. Why? Because of good writing.
Yeah. Because of Jan Favreau.
Yeah. That's why. That's why.
So that episode obviously ends on a cliffhanger. They've been pinned down. Quill's been killed. Baby Yoda's been captured. And episode starts with a bang. The next episode, like pretty much out of the gate, starts off with a bang.
It starts with some comedy first.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
You know who one of the troopers?
Yeah,
was,
who was
Jason Sudeikis?
Jason Sudeikis,
the comedian.
Yeah. Was one of the troopers.
Yeah, he was.
The other trooper someone else?
If it was the other one, but I know he was the one that was
punching him.
The first one, yeah, he was punching him.
The one that probably got death threats for punching.
I was getting upset, man. Like, hey,
3 times.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
3 times, you bastard.
Baby Yoda got socked.
Yeah. He got punched.
Baby Yoda tried to bite the finger too.
Good.
Well, that was the hardest punch when he tried to bite the finger. That's the one that he got a really good punch.
I love the fact when they just showed how bad they were at aiming.
Yes.
That was hilarious. They were just taking pot shots at a can or something like that, and they were totally missing.
I was going to say...
both of them were, like, horrible.
They probably got really close to Quill to shoot him.
Yeah.
Like, literally, they had the gun on his chest and then just fired and called it a day.
So it brings us to the final episode of Season 1, Chapter 8, Redemption. The Mandalorian and his allies come to know their true enemy, who already knows much about them. That's right. Moff Gideon.
Yeah.
Buy me some chicken.
Yeah.
That's right.
Hermanos.
And what's interesting is, when I was talking about earlier, he kind of calls, he knows who everyone is kind of a little bit, in a way. And he calls out Gina Carano's, where she's from.
Right.
And that's when you really find out, finally, why she fucking hates the Empire so much. Because fucking Alderaan is gone. Mm-hmm. So, there you go. If she's from Alderaan, that planet's gone by this point.
And that's probably why she disbanded.
Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was interesting. And she got pissed off when he called her out. She was like, oh, fuck. So they're still pinned down inside. They're trying to escape. They don't know what's going on with Baby Yoda. Quill's not responding. And then something amazing and badass happens, and we have the droid Instagram 11.
Yeah, Instagram 11.
Basically, it's like, oh, I gotta protect the fucking child.
That's it. His job is to protect.
Shows up like a fucking badass, and we have this really great, well-directed, badassity abounds in this episode. Action sequence with Instagram 11 going around with Baby Yoda on his chest.
Yep.
Which you kind of, when you look at it from afar, it's kind of like, are you endangering Baby Yoda?
He came in charging on the speeder bike, right?
Yeah, but you know, if you think about it, the stormtroopers they're not told to shoot Baby Yoda. They need Baby Yoda alive.
But then at one point, he even like flips him around.
He flips him around.
Back and then he's,
really great shooting, fight choreography, badassity. And then when that happens, all these stormtroopers are fighting Instagram 11, and then fucking Mando rolls out there, becomes fucking man bro, and picks up the fucking big ass gun.
He becomes a Rambalorian.
Yeah, Rambalorian, and just destroys some shit. Gina Carano shooting people. Carl Weathers is shooting some people, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh fuck yeah. Visually, it's great. Pew, pew. It's just the action is a bonus when you have a really good story, a very good, well-told story about characters you care about. The action is just a cherry on the top, If we didn't give a fuck about these characters, we'd be like, well, the action looks nice. Yeah. But we do. We're invested. And just some really great action here. And then we get a scene where finally they escape temporarily, and then they run into Mando's.
The main lair because they
yes.
went to the sewer tunnels, right?
Yes.
Which, by the way, those are got to be the cleanest sewer tunnels I've ever seen in my life. Not a speck of trash or poop anywhere. It was awesome.
Do you know the name of the female leader, the Mandalorian leader?
No, I don't.
Who makes the armor?
Right, I don't remember her name.
But she's been giving Mando his armor throughout the season, and she gave what was the little insignia she gave him at the end?
Oh, that was like
his represented
logo that represented his the clan, pretty much, right? The
right.
Mandalorian clan, or
right.
his specific clan.
Right. She's a fucking badass.
Yeah, she was good with that
Now,
hammer and the.
did we assume the other Mandalorians that were down there are dead?
No,
or we don't know.
I think a lot of them left.
They had to leave after that happened.
So why was she still there?
Because she didn't feel like leaving her post.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, so she gives him his insignia and some words of wisdom and sends the team on their way. Mm-hmm. And then stormtroopers show up, and she's there, and she fucks them up.
Big time, man.
Like, it was really good choreography. It was well filmed, and I was like, I like you now.
Yeah.
We got to know you a little bit, and you seem cool.
Yeah.
But now seeing you in action, I'm like, do I got to buy your fucking Funko Pop now?
Yeah, because she was shattering the actual fiberglass helmets, and I was like, damn, that's pretty sick.
She was fucking dope.
She melted a whole stormtrooper.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I became a fan of that character even more.
Oh, and he gets his jetpack.
That's right.
Yes,
he gets his jetpack.
She gives him his jetpack.
Which I could have sworn he couldn't use it till he was ready.
I know, that's the one thing that I was like, okay, never mind. Because she literally said, you haven't really
learned how to use it.
It'll only respond to you when you've learned how to use it or something like that. And the next thing you know, he's flying like there's no fucking problem whatsoever. It's like, okay.
It's like the Rocketeer.
Whatever, okay, cool.
I thought it was something he had to earn, but
I mean, it's
I missed that line, I guess.
Okay, cool, whatever, guys.
There was no time, man. Just gotta give it to him.
Just gotta give it to him. So we have a scene where they're escaping in this boat with this R2 type droid
with legs.
With legs, I know, that was so weird.
Rowing the boat in this kind of lava-like substance, and they know on the other side of the exit of that, where they're at, the sewers, troopers are waiting to get them. So they're like, fuck. And so Instagram 11 wants to self-destruct. But obviously...
At this point, before all of this, Mando was gravely injured. Gravely.
Oh, yes. Thank you for bringing us back to that scene.
He was so injured to the point where he gave his Mandalorian symbol to Gina Carano with Baby Yoda and said, take this, let them know that he's a foundling and he's under my care so that they will treat him as a foundling and take care of him from now on. And he's basically ready to die.
Right.
But the droid stays behind with him and convinces him to remove his helmet so that he can treat him medically. Right. And at first he doesn't want to because he's like, no, because, no living thing can see my face. And the droid's like, well, I'm not a living thing.
Yep. Right.
So he's like, he just takes off his helmet and you see his face.
We say, hi, Pedro.
Yeah, you see his face.
Whiskey.
You get to see his face for the first time. And so at this point, now
and he heals him. And then he heals him.
And he's good enough to be able to be useful again and to walk around and be okay, for the most part. And so now you've got this kind of slight but fairly slightly established connection that Mando has now got this droid after all these episodes establishing that he hates droids.
Yeah.
And he's already had this extreme distrust of this particular droid who already tried to kill Baby Yoda at one point earlier.
Right.
Now has this slight trust put into him, and now comes the part where the droid decides to sacrifice himself because he has this self-destruct mechanism.
Really good scene.
Yeah.
It was.
And Mando seemed concerned.
And he was upset.
Yeah, he was like, well, what the fuck, man? Is there another way we could do this? He
was starting to like him.
Yeah, he actually liked him and was actually kind of sad.
Is this good writing again?
I know.
Making us care about a character?
I know.
What? A fucking droid?
And again, the droid played by Taika Waititi.
Yeah. And before that, too, before they escape the bar, Baby Yoda saves the day.
Yeah, we have the flamethrower.
Yeah, the flame trooper came in and he ignited the place and he blocked the fire.
And then he passed out.
Yes,
yep.
he took it
So
out.
a really good scene of Instagram 11 blowing up the stormtroopers on the outside. That's your fault. It's your fault. And it kills the stormtroopers on the outside, so you think the day is saved, they escape, they get out, and then Moff Gideon shows up and you didn't buy my fucking chicken.
Yep, you didn't buy my
chicken. I'm gonna kill all of you.
Now I'm coming at you with my TIE fighter.
Yeah.
AKA the Chicken Mobile.
And then Mando puts on the rocket pack.
That's it.
Flies up, attaches himself to the TIE fighter, attaches a bomb, gets off the TIE fighter, boom, TIE fighter falls, and then that's pretty much the end of the episode.
I expected him
and then
to
you get
come
to
out
see
of
the
the
dark
wreckage
saber
with half his face.
Ah!
But it didn't happen.
On the bird for Gus Fring? But he did pull out the dark saber, though.
So I do not know what a dark saber
Help
is.
us out
So it's the black Kyber crystal, which is the. If you watch Star Wars Rebels, they explain where it comes from and what it's for. It's just another lightsaber, but with a black crystal instead.
Yeah.
And
interesting looking.
And like I said, anybody can have it, and apparently you don't have to be a Jedi to have a saber.
Is it just as powerful as an official lightsaber?
It's a little more unstable from what I heard.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's a pretty.
So it can hang with the lightsaber for a little bit.
I think it would stand quite a bit.
Okay.
If I didn't get to finish season 4.
Okay.
It's just that towards the end of season 3 is when they start implementing it, because I believe Sabine, the female character, she was the one that was being trained with it.
Okay.
Because Ezra already had his own lightsaber, so then Kanan was training her on how to use the dark saber, because she was the one that was able to possess it and hold it and whatever.
Okay.
So. But it's a pretty sick saber though to have.
It's pretty fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
I like it. And it's something different, which is what we need in the Star Wars universe. And, at the end of this episode, it wrapped up pretty nicely. We have Gina Carano basically like, fuck it, yeah, I'll join your guild. She goes with Carl Weathers back to town.
That's it.
And Baby Yoda and Mando get in their ship and they head off and
he flew with it.
Mando
didn't he take off flying?
Makes the show makes it another reminder just for the audience to show that little Baby Yoda is family now.
That's it.
And he has the little what is it?
The Mandalorian symbol.
Yeah, like chain.
He has like a necklace now.
Yeah, he's playing with it and eating it and having fun with that. And then you think it's over, and then that's when Moff Gideon reveals himself that he's not dead. And I was like, he's not dead. I was like, there's no way. This is too interesting of a character.
So I don't know.
You gotta have him come out.
Are they going to implement that dark saber more in the next season?
Why
I hope
not?
So
why not?
I want to see what it can truly do.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you guys watch Star Wars Rebels, if you guys ever get a chance to watch it,
yeah, I want to. It's on Disney Plus, right?
Yes, I recommend it.
Okay.
It starts off a little cartoony,
yeah.
Obviously because it's animated, right? But
yeah.
It starts off a little soft, but then it gets darker as it gets to the further seasons.
Is it just as good as Clone Wars animated series?
It's up there. You get cameo appearances. You get Vader in there. You get Maul in there.
Nice.
And then you see a lot of cool things. But it's really good.
Okay.
I like
Does
it.
Ahsoka
Shakti.
Does Ahsoka die in the show?
See, that's what I saw. No, I don't think she did.
At some point, she does die in the future, though, because she ends up talking to Rey in Rise of Skywalker.
At some point, but I don't know when.
Okay.
So, like I said, I haven't seen season 4.
Oh.
So I don't know if it happens there.
Okay.
So when I get around to it, I will let you know.
Thoughts on season 2?
I that pig character that he unveiled on Instagram.
Which one?
He Favreau. He posted.
Which character?
It was like a statue of kind of like the pig guards from Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
But it was like a more muscular built one.
All right.
And that looked pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that was one.
They're going to show up, or we don't know if it's a character.
He just teased that character, but we don't know the name or anything. He just says things to look forward to for season 2.
So is Mando just going to keep running? Like, where are we going?
I don't know.
I think he's going to team up. I think he's going to meet up with his This Is the Way clan again. Eventually, he's going to.
Well, they would have to come back at some point.
Yeah.
They can't just leave him.
And we'll probably see more Carl Weathers. We'll see more Gina.
Yeah. Trust me, if they keep it going the way they can make it run for multiple seasons easily.
Yeah.
If they keep getting the talent of writers and directors to continue doing what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Like I said, the stories are endless, man. It's like there's so much.
Yeah.
So much happening.
My only concern, and I have this concern with any show that starts off really well, is that, especially one with such a centric plot that's, centered around these two particular characters, is that it overstays its welcome.
Yeah.
I like a show that knows when to stop.
I don't see it. I don't see it overstaying its welcome because it looks expensive.
That's true.
I don't see it happening.
I just hope that it knows when to stop. Like, there are some shows out there that are still going, and it's like, why are you still doing this to yourself?
Right.
And with a show like this, it could be expensive, but we don't know what they're pulling in on the subscriptions. We don't know.
Right.
We don't know if they've made any money so far.
Right.
We don't know the numbers, so we don't know if this has been a loss to them. We don't know if it's been a success to them. I'm not really sure what the numbers are.
You did hear what happened, right?
What happened?
The fact that once the show ended, people unsubscribed.
I did hear about that.
And they're not going to subscribe until the next season comes out.
I heard about that. And if they're new,
I'm kind of not surprised.
They have 2 shows. They have 2 Marvel shows this year, yeah? It's WandaVision.
WandaVision. Oh, I don't think it's Loki just yet, is it?
So we might as well stay subscribed.
I don't know if it's Falcon and Winter Soldier.
It's going to be one of the 2, yeah.
I don't know if that's the one that's coming out with WandaVision this year. I'm not sure. But I know WandaVision's this year.
It is one of them. But
wow, that's hilarious.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I mean, it's like, why?
I know. I'm sticking with it.
But I hope that it knows when to stop. And it's like...
And on a good note.
And, if you want to keep going with this type of show, well then, in another, and just do another arc with another character. Don't stick with this particular Mandalorian if you must go on with this particular...
That would be interesting.
I'm just saying, it's like, go 3 seasons.
I didn't even think about that. It's called The Mandalorian.
I'm just saying,
so it could be
go
with
3
anyone.
seasons, go 3 seasons or whatever with Mando and Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
End it. And then find another Mandalorian
of his crew, right?
Something.
We were talking about that a while back. We love Baby Yoda to death, but maybe season 2 should be something else. Maybe at some point halfway we're done with Baby Yoda. He takes him back to his.
Right? And just leaves him there.
He finds a home for him, or
Dagobah.
he finds his.
He just drops him like
Dagobah system.
Yeah.
And he finds some more from his race. And leaves him there, but it can't just be Baby Yoda every episode because then Baby Yoda, as much as we love him,
you get burned out on it.
Yeah,
unless they make him teenager Yoda.
And then he really will become Groot, and he'll become an asshole. Teenager.
So, but anyway, we're here to talk about season 1, and season 1 was fantastic. It was smashing.
It was.
It hit all the beats.
Except for those 2 episodes.
Yeah. But they were fine. They weren't shit. You know what I mean? Like, they weren't like, dude, that was horrible. They were fine. But still, overall, a very enjoyable watch. And proof that Star Wars is much more than the glowy sticks.
Yes.
Yes. Anything else before we wrap up the podcast?
Here's a quick question.
Sure.
If I know on the new trilogy, Luke's saber was the blue one, but didn't you have a green one on Return of the Jedi?
What happened to his green one?
Well, because he lost the one. He lost the first one that he had because he lost his hand, right?
Right.
So he made one.
Right, because remember, the blue one is the one he lost.
Yeah, so he had the green one in Return of the Jedi, right?
Because he was Jedi Knight, he had the green one, and that's the one he used to fight Vader and so on and so forth. But he still had it at the end.
So what's
the fact that when she buried the lightsaber, she only buried the blue one and Leia's, but that green one was never found, or she never had it anymore? Did he trade it?
So she had a blue one this whole time?
Yeah.
Well then, fuck, I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Remember, because it was the blue one that everybody was looking for.
Wait. When he showed up as not hologram, Forceogram Luke when he fought Kylo in The Last Jedi, what was the color of the lightsaber? I think it was. But
if
blue.
I
think it was blue.
Right, but if it was an illusion, he can make it any color you want.
I think it was blue. I think that was one of the things where people were like, "Well, obviously it's a hologram because why would he have a blue lightsaber?"
Yeah, I was just perplexed
because Rey's got it.
Yeah, but like I say, he had a green one on Return of the Jedi, and I get it. The blue one was the one that everybody was looking for.
Star Wars listeners, if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please. I'm curious. I want to know because I don't know where it went.
The green lightsaber was fucking dope.
It was.
It was fucking.
Even though like Yoda had the green one, but like I said, Luke had his own on Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Which was used for the final battle.
But when are we getting a pink one?
I don't know. Never.
No? I don't know. Disney Plus is pretty woke now.
The
pinkish
Force is
hue?
female.
When is the rainbow lightsaber? You know, gotta show that pride.
The rainbow lightsaber.
Maybe some tassels on the handle.
The rainbow lightsaber. Oh, hey, Disney Plus, they're woke.
That's it, man.
They're woke when they want to be woke.
Well, you got two chicks making out at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Why not have a pink saber with?
And it's just so much more progressive that way.
There you go.
You know. And that just made everything better.
Yes.
Yep.
Everything's solved.
Yes, everything's solved. So anyway, back to The Mandalorian. Despite what you think about the movies, give the show a shot. If you are curious, we highly recommend that you guys check out the show. Fans of westerns, fans of samurai films,
El Topo,
Ronin movies, Yojimbo, Fistful of Dollars. Stop saying El Topo! Sexy Sumo! God dang it. He's just having fun, traumatizing all of you.
Yes.
Do it. But yeah, very, very awesome episode. Smashing episodes, all 8 of them. Smashing season. And fingers crossed for the future of season 2, the future of Obi-Wan, and the future for the other one that was Rogue One based.
Yes.
It's about
the character, the Diego Luna character, and K2SO, man.
Yeah, hopefully that's good as well. I don't see the need for it, but why not?
Well,
if it's good writing,
you finally get to see the guy's history.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, as long as it's done well,
a lot
of
espionage, probably a lot of spy work.
Yeah, as long as it's well done, I'm there.
Maybe some more killing.
I'll bring this up. Fans have stated this, and let me know what you think of it. Fans have stated, we are salivating. We're drooling and salivating at the prospect of the possibility of Disney Plus doing a dark Sith show. We're following either the Empire, or we're following Darth Maul, or we're following a Sith. I say bollocks, because I would absolutely love something like that, and that's, again, something we've never seen. Mm-hmm. But Disney Plus is not going to spend all this money on a show on a villain. Mm. It's not going to happen. But then we do have Loki coming out.
Yeah.
But
is Loki murdering people?
How are you going to frame it? That's
right.
That's what's going to
Loki could kind of be a good guy. Loki has teamed up with the good guys.
Yeah, Loki died a good guy.
Right. So
Loki totally redeemed himself.
If we're following Darth Maul, he's fucking murdering folks. Like, the younglings will die. Everyone will die. Like, will Disney do something like that? Following evil.
They did it
I would love it.
Did they do it with the Disney princesses and all that stuff? They kind of went with making them...
Who?
The Disney princesses, all the villains from those. Did they do something similar where they gave
but they made
storylines?
They made Maleficent a good guy. Though.
Yeah, well, she wasn't. She was bad.
Well, they're not going to make Darth Maul a good guy.
No, Maleficent. They took the character of one of the most evil characters in fairy tale history, and they made her the good guy.
They're not going to do that.
They made her the victim.
Because it was a prequel, right? From before she became evil, right?
Yeah, but then they framed it so that, no, she wasn't evil, because her and Sleeping Beauty are like BFFs. Oh. Like, she's her surrogate daughter.
That's bullshit.
That's the whole... and that's why there's a Maleficent, too.
Darth Maul will be babysitting Baby Yoda.
I'm just saying... I'm saying they would have to do a lot of gymnastics to make Darth Maul a watchable, palatable, marketable...
So will they be dropping water on Baby Yoda and feeding him after midnight? On season 2? I just want to know.
I say bollocks. I say Disney Plus is not gonna. They're not gonna do that. It would be cool, but we'll take what we can get right now, and what we got right now was something very entertaining, and it felt fresh, and it felt original, and that is The Mandalorian. Yeah. So we highly recommend The Mandalorian. 5 out of 5 stars.
Yes.
What are we rating it? What's the rating?
I rate it. I love it.
You rate it. You love it. What do you rate it? We're rating it for fun. This is not like a review. We're just rating it for fun.
I mean,
what would you give it?
In terms of like rewatchability, I've been wanting to watch this thing all over again.
Yeah.
I mean, based on,
yeah.
I mean, like you take the show like Daredevil. I can't tell you how many times I've rewatched Daredevil all the seasons. Same thing with Punisher. Like I love those shows so much. I'll just have them on in the background.
Iron Fist.
Never watched again. Never watched season 2. So there you go. But yeah,
I give it 9 out of 10.
I could see.
I give it. A lot of people would give it 8 out of 10 because of those 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I give it 9. I give it a 9. Our rating system, it would be a 4 out of 5.
I would go like
4.5.
I would go
4.5.
I would go 4.5 if only because those 2 episodes.
4.5.
They're not the greatest, but they're not terrible. Like I've got shows out there that I watch on the regular, like the old shows that I watch, like that I love from my childhood.
Yeah.
Some episodes are unwatchable.
Yeah.
Where I'll have them on and I will just skip right the fuck over them because they're so dog shit. I won't even bother. Those episodes, they're just like filler, and that's what they are. They're not awful. They're just filler.
Would you be fine if we ended it right here?
I would be disappointed.
No, I'd like to see
You
more.
think so?
I would be very disappointed.
Because it kind of ends in a way.
I mean,
it does cliffhanger.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
I guess.
I mean, a lot of some shows, like we just watched Deadly Class, unfortunately. That's
another podcast.
That was very sad. That show had a lot of promise, a lot of potential.
Yes.
I'm rating it with like The Boys, where if that were to end right now,
Deadly Class was really good, man.
Really?
It sucked.
Like if The Boys were to never come back,
2.
I'd be pissed.
Yeah, The Boys is good. I like The
Boys.
Then you got shows out there like Firefly that should never have been canceled. At least we got the movie out.
Maybe now that Disney owns Fox, they'll bring back Firefly.
No, they had their movie. That's as good as it ever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's like, but at least we've already got second season confirmed, so we know there's going to be a second season out of this.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about that. One would hope that nothing happens to where that falls through, but yeah, just please have an ending. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
No more of this roughneck Starship Trooper Chronicles where you have this giant cliffhanger of an ending and it's a great, fantastic setup and you never get anything out of it because ratings and budget and shit like that. That was a travesty and it should never have happened.
Yeah.
But,
I see
Roughnecks,
the animated show.
Roughnecks. Yeah.
I
did
see.
not see that one.
Oh,
I see.
It's sad.
Another podcast. We'll talk about that show.
I gotta show. He hasn't seen it. I gotta show.
I've seen a few episodes.
Was it as good as the second movie? Because the movie was garbage.
No. It's good.
The third movie was garbage too.
The series is fantastic.
Okay.
It's old, so the animation's a little clunky.
Yeah.
It's all CGI.
But didn't they make an animated movie after that?
Oh yeah, but nothing to do with that.
No.
Nothing to do. It's all old school CGI, kind of like Beast Wars. Remember Beast Wars?
Yes.
It came out after that.
Okay.
But it's a little clunky.
It's pretty serious though. I remember a few
But it's a good storyline.
Oh,
it's like not
all the characters
kids.
from the movie. All the characters from the movie are in it.
Nice.
And they all get fleshed out. Everybody gets fleshed out, so you get to know everybody.
Okay.
In the show. Like, more than you did in the movie. Like, not even close. Like, everybody. They bring in the aliens that you never got to meet. Like, you meet everybody.
Okay.
And it branches out. It expands.
Well, that's good,
there's campaigns. I mean, you get...
It just got canceled.
It got canceled right before this big thing was going to happen. And it's sad. And it's a travesty.
How many seasons did it run?
I think it was like 2.
Okay.
But it was...
We have all the DVDs.
It's like the normal anime where it's like... what season's like 60 episodes?
I think it ended up being like, shit, I'd have to check my DVDs. But, yeah, it was sad. It was really sad. But anyway, we're completely off topic. Sorry, guys. Completely off topic.
I see a season 2, and then they can wrap it up. I think they can wrap it up after season 2.
I say 5's a good number.
5?
Yeah,
oh man.
Well, remember, these are only. I mean, we don't know
we
don't know how many episodes
That's
they're ordering
true.
for season 2.
That's true.
This is only 8.
I think because the when they're hour-long episodes, they can put more.
Okay.
And then, like, if they put in more, that means they run out of stuff faster, right? So if they have shorter episodes, they can stretch it out further.
Sometimes it's sometimes it's a fine line that you walk. Like, if you have shorter episodes, you can. The pace is a lot more brisk, but you sacrifice, like, you get the episode 5 syndrome where it's just like pack a 2.5-hour film plot into a 30-minute story, and it feels like it. But if you had stretched that out into an hour, it still might have felt like a filler. We don't know. It could very well, because we've seen that story a billion times, but who knows? But then, if you have more of an arcing type of series, you're more likely to cut out the filler. So maybe in this next season, they'll focus more on, instead of it being more episodic, which I enjoy episodes. I enjoy episodic storytelling. Right. But maybe rely less on episodic, because I do enjoy this both format. I enjoy it being both. But maybe cut back on that, because obviously you had, with the exception of the end of that the bounty hunter, where he gets, with
episode 5.
Where Chun-Li shows up, one episode. Yeah. With the exception of that, where that mysterious figure shows up at the very end, you could have edited that whole episode out, and really you wouldn't have lost anything out of it. And even though I didn't have a problem with episode 5, the one with the guy, they're on Tatooine and all that, I didn't have a problem with that. The one before that with the Seven Samurai episode, I didn't have a problem with that. You could have edited that out, except you got the Gina Carano character. You got to meet her for the first time. So that was the only thing that really, So you still pull things out of each episode, even though they're episodic in nature. So it's like, there's a balance you have to strike. It's just maybe not.
So you're saying you don't want that for season 2?
I'm saying if you're gonna make episodic episodes like that, maybe have them mean a little bit more. Like it's fine to do both, because I do enjoy both, but again, with the exception of one thing happening that is essential, you have a whole episode where nothing else matters. That's a problem.
Why do I don't think Bobby's dead.
Who?
Bobby.
From Sam
yeah.
But the whole thing got blown up.
Did the whole thing blow up?
They blasted like nobody.
But he ran away.
I don't know.
I think the whole
maybe he got to a ship and snuck up.
Escape
if
pod?
you didn't see it, if you didn't see him die, he didn't die. Who knows?
All right, we're going to wrap up the podcast here really quick before we wrap it up. Star Wars shows or ideas you would like to see?
For the future?
Mm-hmm. What would you like to see?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, there's many possibilities now that things like this are coming out. Yeah. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, would they be able to do a Jabba series? Just for the hell of it?
I don't know if anyone could stand hearing Jabba speak the whole season.
And maybe there's some...
I don't know.
You know how Disney, man, they'll make them all cute and speak English.
And speak English. Well, hopefully, fingers crossed we get something new.
But there were other bounty hunters, too, that Vader hired.
Yeah.
Maybe some of those guys can have a story
maybe.
somewhere.
Maybe.
What's that lizard one? The one that kind of looks like a lizard.
Or if you're going to go back to bringing more people in who are Force sensitive, and you're going to go back to telling stories of people who are being with the Force, and
Knights of the Old Republic days.
Or if you're going to bring in the Force,
Darth Revan.
Well, I'm saying
I want a Darth Revan TV series.
If you're going to bring in the Force and you're going to bring in lightsabers again, just keep away from the Skywalkers.
Yes.
Bring in other people.
What about a Sidious backstory, like starting from when he was young?
Sure, I think I would watch that
when he's starting to learn about them.
Yeah,
maybe that's
didn't Sidious become Plagueis'
apprentice,
and then he killed Plagueis.
Correct.
I'm down.
So that could be your Sith storyline you're looking for.
That would be fucking dope.
That would be pretty dark.
Yeah. And then you find out he's Jar Jar Binks.
Yep.
All right. We're going to wrap it up here. If you're watching this on YouTube, we appreciate you all watching. If you're listening to this on FM Anchor or Spotify, we appreciate you guys listening. Spotify! Google Cast. Google Cast as well. And we appreciate you guys listening and tuning in for another episode of the Purple Nectar Podcast. We'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you, Sexy Sumo, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
We will have him back more often on future episodes of the podcast. All right, peace out. You guys fucking rock. We'll see you guys next time.